as always, Tiana does a great job at organizing this. So we're delighted tonight. We have Stephanie from Arto, and Arto would be a favorite brand of ours because it's produced here in California, in Los Angeles, and is a very custom product. So you have a lot of flexibility in what you get from it. And for how custom it is, it's still very good value. I'll let Stephanie talk through the product. And we're also delighted to have Alyssa Hoffman joining us. Alyssa is a great partner of Arto. We really appreciate Alyssa giving her time this evening to give you guys some insight into some of the work that she does and we get to see. Arto, we really appreciate the local community. We really feel the spirit of people enjoying working with local businesses at the moment, and we truly appreciate that. We're open by appointment only, and it's working out quite well for us because it's really keeping my employees and everybody feeling safe, and it allows us to curtail. The Arto store is not the biggest square footage place, so it allows us to curtail and make sure that everybody is in a safe environment. So we're not going to change that. We are going to spend some more time optimizing how we allow or how we set up appointments, etc., to make that easier. But thankfully, we really support or really appreciate the support of the local community, and Arto is doing just fine at the moment. Thank you, and I'll pass on to Stephanie.
And I want to add something. So if you have, some questions during the presentation, just type them in the chat box, and then Stephanie will be answering them when she's done. So we are not going to interrupt the presentation, and you'll get your answers after the presentation. Okay.
And I do have Carrie's questions.
Yeah.
She emailed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great. Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know how many of you have heard of Arto or Arto Brick. We used to go by Brick, but now we're just straight Arto. Arto is a family-owned business. Arto is not a made-up name. Arto was the founder of our company. They are an Armenian family. Arto was born in Egypt, and when things kind of started falling apart over there, he came to the United States. First he was on the East Coast, kind of hopscotched across the United States, landed in Venice, loved Venice Beach. It reminded him of Lebanon, the coastal cities there. So that's where he settled. When he first came here, in Egypt, he made shoes, and he was a national ping pong champion. So he had a very interesting life. But when he came to the United States, he met a woman, and I can't pronounce her last name, Britzenbonner or something. But anyway, she was a ceramicist, and she basically taught him how to work with clay. So he started this company here in California called Arto Brick, and he would make little thin clay bricks by night and fire them in the kiln, and then during the day he would actually do installations. So anyways, fast forward, during the 70s, during the energy crisis, he could not afford to keep kilns going because it was so expensive. And so he needed to find another medium to work with, and he found concrete. So many years ago, Arto completely gave up ceramics, the terracotta product, the brick, and he went all in on concrete. And it was a great business for us for many, many years. We slowly grew. When I started there 16 years ago, I think there was less than 20 people, and we have over 75 now. So the company has continued to grow through the years, but when we had our last recession in 2008, 2009, there was a company called Western Quarry. Western Quarry was going to go out of business if they couldn't find somebody to buy it. And the owner, Armin, who was the son of Arto, he was really interested. So we bought this company called Western Quarry, and we merged Western Quarry with all our concrete products. So everything now is manufactured in Gardena. So we've kind of come full circle. Like, we gave up clay and now we're back to producing clay. So we basically have two product lines that we manufacture. We also curate products that we import. But Arto, we have our concrete that we do. We have wonderful colors, textures, sizes, shapes. We have over 250,000 different SKUs. And so it's impossible for us to have a sample of every shape, every color, every texture ready to go. So when you need samples, it takes us a little while. It takes us about a week to 10 days to get an exact sample. We have closest match. But anyways, the family business, it's really important for us to tell the story about Arto, because it really is a family business. Armin and Bod are the two sons that run the company now. Armin kind of wears the business hat and Bod wears the production hat. And they work really well together, and it's been a great company to work for. So I will go on to now. Let me share my screen. Wait a minute. Okay, so here's my email, and I was going to suggest to Carrie, if you want to take down my email, you can email me tomorrow, and I can answer your last question about questions about the area that you want to cover. But here's my email. Please feel free to email me with any questions or anything. Okay, so I'm gonna start with concrete. Here is just a sample of some of the colors that we have available. Well, there's actually about 30 concrete colors, and then we have signature colors, which kind of blend these different colors and make patterns. So there's just a lot you can do with, oops, sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. So these are the textures that are available for concrete. So there's smooth, there's a travertine with little holes, there's a limestone finish, which just kind of makes it look like limestone. And then we have something called Luna, which is very rusticated. But it makes for, when you mix all these textures together with colors, it really looks beautiful. Sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. Okay. So this is a pool job where we use Spanish Cotto. Spanish Cotto has been like our bread and butter for the last probably 15 or 20 years, but we're in Southern California. I know grays and things in Northern California are a lot more popular, but this is kind of for Southern, sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. This is actually a shot from, this is one of Art Tile's jobs, right, Patrick? Isn't it?
Yes, that's absolutely one of our jobs.
Yeah. So you can, with our product, you can let your imagination run wild. You can do so many things. Okay, so this would be like an example of concrete as well. This is 3 or 4 different colors of grays and whites, and then it has what we call our vintage texture. So on that, the texture board that I showed you, those are the 4 textures. Well, these colors are run in every single texture. So some of the light ones will be smooth, some will be limestone, some will be travertine. So you get a really beautiful mix. And the textures actually kind of change the color, so there's a ton of variation. Whoops. Okay, this is from our Roman collection. So we have an Arto collection, which is more, it's all 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's very rustic. So when I say rustic, what I mean, it has rustic characteristics. It's manufactured in a very soft mold, and I mean, soft like you can bend the mold. So when the concrete goes in there, it moves around. And so the pieces are not like perfect. They're square, but the edges bow out a little bit. They might have undulations, and we just call those rustic characteristics. This is an example of Roman. So the Roman is manufactured in a like a PVC type of mold and PVC pipe, and it's real rigid and straight, so you can get a very clean, minimal look. So you can do both. You can do both a modern look and then a rustic look with our product, and you can use all the colors. Here, this is also Roman, so these are large format tiles. They also used, you can see on the walls, that's Hacienda limestone, so it can be used for walls, floors, interior, exterior. You can use, all of our products can be used interior or exterior, so you really have a lot of ability to do things. This is called our Magnolia Blend. It comes from in our Arto series, and it is Arabesque pattern 2C, and that's called Magnolia Blend. And the reason it's Magnolia Blend is because Chip and Joanna Gaines worked with a designer in one of our Texas stores, and they came up with this blend. So we loved it so much. It was on their show, and so we just decided to name it Magnolia. So it's one of our signature color groups. Sorry. Okay, this is an example of, it has down here on the ground, it's got the Arto in Normandy Cream, which has 4 different colors, 4 different textures. They used all our wall caps. They did a custom mural here. This is all this. They wanted a bowl to match the mural. We had never done a ceramic bowl before, so this was first for us, but they really wanted the bowl to match the mural. So this is a great example of, we like to say, like, we're kind of like a bakery a little bit, or a quarry. Because a bakery, you have cupcakes and you have donuts and little birthday cakes, but we also can do wedding cakes. We can make some really extraordinary, beautiful tiles. So, all right. This is some of our curated products. We bring this is by a company called Kronos in Italy. We bring in this, it comes in 3 different colors. There's a gray, there's a cream, and then this is called Nero, it's a black. But there's pavers, there's mosaics, there's textured pieces. It's a really, really beautiful, and we are stocking that at the factory. So this is an example of our Roman series, where they did kind of the chevrons, and they put squares, but completely just use their imagination on that. This comes from our 3D. So we have a bunch of 3D tiles that, these are about 1 inch thick, but they can be used on a wall. They come in both, we have both concrete, and it comes in ceramic. So we've got lots of glazes. Sorry. This is actually Sonny and Cher's house. I might be dating myself. But this is from Sonny and Cher's house in Palm Springs. And this is a really popular deco that we have in the fireplace here. It's beautiful. You can see you can use it in a fireplace, because those particular glazes are, those are part of our premium collection of glazes, and they are fired at 2,000 degrees for 24 hours. So they're suitable to go in a fireplace. Okay, this is some of our clay product. This is the Monrovia, and this is Monrovia Red. It's beautiful pickets. This one is unglazed. Anything unglazed, you do want to seal for ceramic, but the glazed, once it's glazed, you don't have to seal it. This was a custom deco that somebody wanted, and we lost our shirt because it was so intricate, and we made the price. We told them a price before we actually made one. So we lost money on this, but it's a beautiful pool. It really is. This is one of our newer products. This is, it's called Scirocco, and it's kind of similar to Tabarca tiles, but ours, Tabarca is, they're not high fired, so you can't use them in wet areas and things like that. These decos can be used in a shower or a swimming pool, wet areas. Oops. This is our our newest, this is new, this is called the Silk Road. Lots and lots of patterns. I don't have any installation pictures of it yet because it really is brand new. We kind of created it last year, but didn't do a good job of launching it. And we have the capability of doing custom. So this is a slide where somebody came to us, they had been in Spain, and they took a picture of this building, and it's kind of hard to see, but this whole building has this material on the front of it. Well, it's not our material. We copied for someone, we copied and did a custom job, and that this is on the front of their house, and I don't have a picture of it yet. But so we have the ability to do custom as well. Should I answer Carrie's questions?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, so Carrie had asked if you've got a wall and you want to use the decos. All the decos are hand painted. You could go to our website and watch videos on watching the ladies paint the tiles, but they really are time consuming, so they're expensive. So if you want a wall, you can use solid colors and then just pop decos in. You could do a smaller portion or frame it in. There's things you can do to still use the decos if you can't afford to do an entire wall, because it is expensive. All the decos on our website, you can custom color any deco. So it's not just the ones on the website that don't have color in them. You can pick any deco. The only limitations to the colors is you have to use all premium colors to design your deco, or you have to use all signature colors, because the glazes fire at different temperatures. So the premium decos fire at 2000 degrees for 24 hours, and the signature, it's a much lower, I can't remember what the temperature is, but at less time, and it's lower temperature. So you cannot mix from the signature box of colors, the premium, because they can't go in the same oven. You do not need, she asked if you need to seal the glazed. You do not need to seal anything that's glazed. I recently redid our master bath, and we did seal our the glaze, but we just did one coat, and it was just kind of felt like doing it, but you don't really need to. And then also Carrie asked about our glazed bricks. Don't need sealing. You do not need to seal. And the other question she had was about her specific wall. So I'd love to talk to her tomorrow. She can email me pictures or whatever, and I can help her figure that out.
Stephanie, another question here on the chat. It says, for exterior floor tiles, do we need to have a concrete slab poured to set the tiles, or are these thick pavers?
So with the Arto series, this Arto has to be on a substrate, concrete substrate, or like hardy backboard, something like that. We have the Roman series, which is the very modern series, the one with real square, sharp, clean edges. That comes in a 2-inch, so you can sand set the 2-inch thick Roman pavers. So the Arto has to be mortared. The Roman 2-inch can be sand set.
And then the last question there was, when you do a custom tile, is it available to others or exclusive to the original purchaser?
So if we have to make a new mold, like for instance, this mold in front of you that you can see that we did that custom mold, when we do that, we do ask that you, that we own the molds. So you don't own the mold, even though you have to pay for the mold to be made, we keep control of the mold. So if somebody else comes along and wants that, we will resell it. I'm not seeing any chats.
It's over if you click on the chat button on the bottom.
Oh, okay. So that kind of gives you a good idea of what is possible with us. We do, I mean, we love to do custom. Of course, it takes time and it takes money, but usually if you give us something, a picture or drawing or something that you'd like, a mural or something out of it, it takes us, once everybody's good on the design and colors, it takes us about 2 weeks to make a mold and make a sample out of it, a control sample. And then the lead is the same amount of time as our regular products once the mold is done.
Yeah. Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I'd like, if anybody has some questions, but I'd like to add, I'd just say that Arto is one of the companies or lines that can be very overwhelming at the start.
Very.
Yeah, and the company is run in a very friendly and warm manner, which doesn't mean that it's logical and clear, right? And I don't mean that. I mean that as totally positive because the experience is warm and friendly. What you have to do is just go onto their website. They have a great website showing plenty of gallery photos to get an idea of what they can do. But they can do anything. And then in terms of value, like I consider Arto to be a very good value product. For example, if you get it's a blend called the Normandy Cream Blend, and you get it in 12 by 12 pieces, it looks exactly like a French reclaimed paver. You're going to get a very good copy of that. And if you go to the real thing, you're talking huge money, whereas with Arto, right, you're talking $12 or $13 a square foot. It's not expensive at that end.
And then I should tell you one other thing. If for more photos, we have projects, a lot of projects that you can see installations on the website. But we also have a website with photo shelters. So you just have to Google Arto and photo shelter, and there's thousands of pictures on that as well.
Yeah, great. No more comments from me. Anybody else got a question or?
Yeah, if you can ask something, unmute yourself because everybody's muted, but you can unmute.
I just wanted to say, Stephanie, this was my first exposure to Arto, and I just think it's absolutely stunning. And I'm so grateful that I joined this evening, and I'm excited about what our future holds at in Sacramento as well.
Yeah.
So thank
Don't
you.
be overwhelmed by, like Patrick said, it can be overwhelming. Yeah. What it really comes down to for everybody, when you work with Arto, you pick a shape and size, you pick a color. If you want to add texture, you add texture. We make it for you. It seems complicated, but it's really not any more complicated than 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate everybody's time tonight.